yet.
Hello and welcome to Tech Talk with Terry and Elizabeth. Boy, it's been a minute since we've done this. Pretty
We're
crazy.
slacking.
Yeah, slacking. And then we had right after the conference. Let me see. I got sick, and then I, hurt my eye. Had eye surgery. So, it's been an interesting month. So, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and all of our good Facebook stuff that we have going out there. And welcome everybody again. Hello, Miss Elizabeth.
Hi. Happy Monday.
How's everything going on your end?
Good. I'm still having technical issues with my camera. I don't know what's going on. So.
Well, we might have to put the computer in the hospital. Maybe why we're gone tomorrow.
I don't know if it's a computer. I reached out to tech support, and I don't know that I got the best answer, but that's okay. As tech support, I don't always give the best answer, do I?
Exactly. Let me see. So what's happening? What's going on in the great world of, us?
The great world of us. So I completely understand that everybody is probably beside themselves and frustrated with me getting the videos out for the last event that we had. And I just want to touch on that super briefly. I had a new AV team this year, and the actual output that I got this year was different than previous years. Previous years, everything was kind of cut and spliced and edited and ready to go. And this year is a lot more manual for me and my team. So I appreciate everyone's patience. I hope you guys are not super frustrated with me, but yes, I'm going to get those out pretty quick, and we'll get them on the site so that people can recap. Because, I was running around like a crazy person the whole time, trying to make sure everything was like on schedule, on track, no blips. Few blips, but for the most part, it was like such a fun event. But I want to go back and rewatch the videos myself, because I think there's probably some things I missed. I'm sure everybody else wants to recap, because you go to these events and you're like, okay, now I've got to implement. What do I do? Where am I at? What did I forget? So.
Yeah, and it is frustrating, especially because it's one of our, big things is that we like to try to be, proactive and stuff, especially about stuff with videos. But it kind of hit us. This was our 6th year, and we're still learning stuff. So, add that to the list of making sure that's going to happen next year. So, again, I apologize also. But if you ever need anything or need contact with anybody or want to speak with anybody, just message me. We'll get your questions answered. So that's not a problem. So anyways, we actually wanted to jump back on, start doing our weekly again. And the cool thing about when we wanted to start this is we get to announce our new thing that we're doing. So one of the reasons, we became SEO spring training became very popular right when COVID hit. We were literally 3 weeks from our live event when COVID shut down Arizona. So
we already had the hotel contracted. We had all the things that were kind of in place, and it was a crazy time for like the entire world, but also for us.
Yeah. So anyways, obviously, the biggest things that we wanted to do is we still wanted to have an event. So we went out and found some software that would allow us to do it online, not a Zoom type thing, but it had some of the look and feel of a conference environment, and you could do some cool things before, during, and after all the stuff that's going to happen. So anyways, it was really popular. We were originally going to do the same as the live event. We were going to do 2 days. It ended up being 8 days, and we ended up having 72 speakers, and almost 900 people came through that online event. Now, granted, the whole world shut down. We really didn't have anything else to do except for work or play video games or stuff like that. So obviously the timing helped with that. But one of the things that we missed when we went back to the live events again is people just not being able to see the stuff that we produce and the stuff the speakers produce and the content that, they really miss. Of course, the live events are going to be always the most powerful because of what can happen after the fact. But we had people this year that got denied visas. We got people this year that really wanted to come to the States and either present or attend, and they just couldn't for one reason or another. So, and we were pre-planning this kind of during the live event of doing something digital, but we decided to go ahead and let's just do it. So, Elizabeth, go ahead and start it off about this.
Okay. So no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. One of the things that was so amazing about the digital event, first of all, like the world was in chaos, and we understand that. And it was definitely a break from a lot of things that were going on. But like those of you that know Terry and I, like when we commit to something, we're kind of all in and we commit. So when we did the digital event, we were like, let's just do it. And it was crazy. It was like in our living room, our desks were facing each other. Like, so, you really have to like your coworkers at that point. But it was nonstop all day, every day for like 8 days, a whole week. We had so much fun, and not just like preparing it and putting it on, but just like attending ourselves, because we were sitting there watching the videos the whole time, because it was like as it was happening, we were all there, and nothing was pre-recorded. Even people outside of the country, we had people from Australia and Europe presenting, and it was just a blast. And we kind of want to recreate that. So we're going to do another digital event, and we're looking at late August. Terry already put the dates out. He's spot on it. We're looking at like a regular 2-day conference, but we also are looking at, we're known for our tech day, which is super fun and intense and deep dive kind of thing. And then our VIP day, we always have that structure: tech day, VIP day. So for some people, it could be a 4-day event. For others, just get in and get the meat, get the basics of the 2-day conference. And we're going to do it like during the work week, because everybody has families. You want to hang out with your families and spend quality time with them. But I think this is going to be like so much fun. We've had a lot of positive response from a lot of people in our private Facebook group. So, we did put some feelers out to see if this is something that you guys want. So there we go. Yay.
Yeah, it's going to be, one of the things that we're looking at too is like, the nice things about the digital event. And I get to watch a lot of them and be involved in a lot of webinars and, and attend some online stuff because it's just easier. Travel to me is a pain in the behind, especially if you do it, a lot. And so, we like the digital events because I can work on product or whatever they're teaching at the time. I can work on, answering some emails if I have to, if something super important comes up, but I'm not pressured to sit there in one big room for any amount of time. And, we're looking at doing some stuff with this event that, we haven't seen before as far as other online events. So we're still in the early stages of choosing software. We're still in the early stages of kind of choosing, I've got 5 people or 4 people helping me kind of go through and go through some of the speakers, because now that we can open this up worldwide, there's speakers out there that I would love that could never make it to Spring Training's live event to, come in and teach. So, and that's one of the big things we're doing this year is we're not asking people to speak, we're asking people to teach. So one of the big things that's easier in my mind in digital is the teaching aspect of it. So again, people can be at their computer, they can be working on whatever the person's talking about on their own sites or whatever, and just kind of make it more interactive. And so we're going to be allowing the speakers much more time. We're going to be, obviously picking and choosing the flow. So, we can kind of typically watch and see how it's going to go. I would love to do the breakout rooms like we do with a live event, but again, that's going to be dependent on the software. So, but it is going to be an event that people will get a ton of stuff out of. So one of the things that Elizabeth and I are kind of known for is just the value of what our events do. And there's all kinds of great events. I'm not talking any negative about any event out there, but our pride and joy has always been the value. So when we come around and we talk about the different things that, we're hoping that people bring to the table, we're hoping that people, the interactive things that we're going to do even after the event, stuff like that, that you can do just hanging out type of stuff. That was probably some of the funnest stuff we did with the first one. It was just the hangout time. And I'd wake up the next morning and people stayed online until 1 or 2 in the morning, just talking and chatting and having a blast. So totally cool. So anyways,
really quick, whatever that fidget thing is that you're playing with, can you please stop? Because that crackles.
That's my right fidget spinner. That's my fidget spinner. I have fidget spinners. So sorry. So
I'm aware. I'm sorry. I had to call you out on that because I don't know who else heard that out there. So
hey, Scooby snores. I play with my fidget spinners.
Yes, everybody will hear my dog when they're on calls with me.
Anyway, so one of the things that we're looking at doing with this is we're obviously going to be the tech day and the VIP day. There's going to be stuff happening those 2 days that you won't see anywhere else. So, and we're going to kind of keep a lid on those 2 days for now, only because of the fact that we're still going through the vetting process. And, we don't just arbitrarily let people just, teach or present at our events. We need to make sure, again, they're bringing value. They're not going to be, it's not a sales pitch, any of this other type of stuff. So,
right.
Another cool thing too is there's also opportunities for sponsors. So we get sponsors every year for the live event. If you're interested or know anybody that might be interested in sponsoring, this is a very good event to do that because this is going to have a much wider reach. So the biggest thing that we want to make sure that people understand is that this is worldwide. So there's no getting a visa. There's no 20-hour flights. There's none of this stuff to get to where we want to present the same value we would at the live event or better even. Because I think at the digital event, it offers us much more opportunity than a live event. So anyway, so yep, it's scheduled for August 26th through the 29th. The tech day is going to be the first day. The VIP day will be the second day, and then the 2-day conference. Oh, did I have that backwards?
No. So what we had talked about, which I see you forgot, was we were talking about doing like the tech day on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday being just the regular conference day, and then Friday the VIP day. So Friday's extra. And that's kind of how we were thinking, because I'm thinking that Wednesday, Thursday are pretty good for people managing their work schedules. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what worked out best, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree for sure. So again, if you know anybody that might want to sponsor, if somebody's got a SaaS product or whatever that they want to show off and do, we do offer that to the sponsors.
Like a lunch and learn, right?
What's that?
Like a lunch and learn? Like so?
Yeah. Either lunch and learn, or there's all kinds of slots we can do on the digital side. So, but the biggest thing is that we typically don't allow sponsors unless it's software that we either know or use or trust, obviously. So, and we turn down a lot just because I've never used them. I've never heard of them. So, but anyway, so that opportunity is available for the digital event. And then, the recordings. The recordings are going to be instant. So whatever day you sign up for, or the VIP is all 4 days, you'll get all the recordings for the days that you sign up for. And it typically, when we did this back during COVID, it was typically about a 24 to 48 hour turnaround, just depending on upload time. That was the only slowdown, was how long it takes to upload. But anyways, it's going to be a really cool event. We really got some really cool stuff planned for it. We've got a team put together to help us to make sure that we kind of check all the boxes and, see what else is out there that we might have missed or whatever. So, we're really looking at doing this thing good. So what else you got, Miss Elizabeth?
I don't know what else. Oh, well, so one of the things that was a lot of fun about the digital event that we did in 2020 was we had our digital happy hour. And I know that a lot of times we've tried to kind of recreate that, but I think with this event, because everybody's going to be kind of super connected already, I think that we can still carry that on. And we've talked about like a VIP dinner, which, like, obviously if we're all scattered throughout the globe, it's not going to be easy to get together at the same time unless it's online. So maybe sending out like some Uber Eats vouchers or something like that to cover like the cost of a dinner and have us all get together. Again, those networking times I think are super critical because that's when everybody is relaxed. You can chit chat. Some of the things that I've noticed with our events is we have just as quality of people in the audience as there are on stage. So you never know who you can chat with that is going to be like a wealth of information that can, you know, really help your business, your agency, do whatever you need it to do. We have such a good quality of people that, you know, attend our events and present at our events. So we just kind of want to get a little bit bigger and share all that with everyone.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So, Elizabeth, check your Slack real quick. The biggest thing that that we want to make sure that we do also is that we look back at all the reviews of the different speakers we've had throughout the years. We definitely have some presenters out there that just, you know, people just really like. But the biggest thing that we want to make sure of is that, you know, that everybody is, we watch everything, you know, so, you know, I want to make sure that everything that's being brought on, we had some surprises last time. We had one speaker specifically kind of go off on a tangent and went completely off of what his topic was that he told me it was going to be. And kind of shocking. We were all kind of sitting there going, didn't know that.
Wait. I need to talk to you off camera about that. Remind me what happened.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it was this time, you know, obviously it's not going to be as big, you know, but it is going to be, I doubt we're going to be maybe at a third day of the conference time, but all that's going to be dependent on, you know, kind of the way just the flow's going, you know, because we, hold on here.
You can't talk and type, can you? Anyway, Mark and Dan are here. Hi, guys.
Yep, Mark and Dan are here. Actually, two of the people that we're going to be contacting directly to help us, you know, put all this good stuff together. But the biggest thing that I want to make sure that everybody realizes that, again, this is digital, it's not live, and, you know, it's going to be certain times, and I'm sorry, yeah, it's going to be live, but live online. But and the times are going to be different, so we're not going to be, if this is the middle of the night for you, that's fine. You'll just, if you don't want to watch it, you just get up the next day and get the video, you know, whatever. So we didn't really want to go ahead and do different things like that. So we're trying to figure out the logistics of, you know, especially if we find the software that we can do the breakout room type stuff, that's going to be cool. But again, it's all dependent on video. It's all dependent on getting this stuff quickly and just being better at it. So.
Well, and one of the things, like, I know that it's been very limited to the people that have said, oh man, I really missed that. But there have been a couple people that wanted to do breakouts. Like, so, you know, maybe we look at how we're structuring this so that there is no missing out on anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, definitely. So there's the website to start getting your tickets. I will tell you also, as we get closer, we are planning on raising ticket prices. Not so much, you know, to kind of deter anybody, but there's going to be so much value in this thing. And that's the way we always look at stuff is, you know, is this are they going to be getting products, or are they going to be getting stuff that they're being able to use, you know, right away, compared to, you know, oh, I'm just going to write a bunch of stuff in a notebook and then, you know, 60 days later, I forgot all about it. So we're going to be creating some stuff to help you keep track of stuff. We're going to be creating some documents and stuff to help you take notes and do stuff like that. So it's all coming around, and it's, you know, again, we're at the beginning stage. So when you want to take advantage of this and do the things the right way, you take your time in very methodical steps, so to speak. especially on the live event, and we're not treating the digital one any different. So that's the nice thing about the way it's just not a haphazard thing we're throwing online and saying, hey, let's do this.
No, you know us, we're planners. We put a lot into the back end of everything. So,
Yep.
you know, that's why I don't have a ton of details right now, because we're still formulating and making sure that it is spot on.
Yep, 100%. So the biggest thing is, if you have any questions, if you want to speak or present, again, I'm going to be encouraging people to teach. I don't really want a bunch of people out there in a PowerPoint presentation. So I really want people to teach. I want people to be super fine-tuned, focused on that product and that service, whatever they're trying to do. I'm thinking about teaching my whole reporting system because it's done with all free tools. So there's some different things that we're looking to do, especially stuff that I've never done, live before. So, but I'm going to be asking the teachers to do the same thing. So when you look and see the value of this thing, especially the tech day and the VIP day, there's going to be stuff in there that you'll never see again. So, but again, if you have any questions, if you want to present, if you want to teach, if you know sponsors, reach out to us, because again, we want this to be, or if you know somebody that would be really good at this type of thing they might want to teach or speak at. But reach out to us. We'll definitely put them in the list. We've already got a pretty healthy list already of people that we're going to talk about. But again, it's going to be different. It's not going to be your 30 minutes, get off the stage, 30 minutes, get off the stage. It's going to be, it's going to be different. So again, I'm trying to keep a lid on a lot of stuff right now.
Which is hard for you because you're terrible at keeping secrets.
I know it's really sucks, especially after I've had a whiskey at night. I'm just like, I want to just post stuff. But yeah, as we go through this thing, if you even got ideas, or if you see something out there that might even make this better, let us know. And that's the coolest thing about this is that we want to do this as a secondary option for our live event, obviously, just because we know that people can't get to the live event. We know that it's unfortunate, but maybe we can provide just as much value or more value on an online digital event.
Well, and the thing is like I don't want to limit, and I think by doing it digitally and online, we're not limited. When we're doing these live events, I've got to know ahead of time how many people are going to be in the space, how many people for, lunches and foods and, accommodate all of that. And I love the idea that we can just be more open and available to more people.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And people have been asking for this the last 2 years. So I'm glad we're able to do it, to, have it out there and to, as far as I'm concerned, have it be the best digital event that's ever been done. So anyways, hey, Randy, the news guy, Randy, best friend, Randy. There's Randy, Mr. Dan Kurtz. Oh no, I'm going to bring some new fun stuff to teach. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's going to be really awesome. So again, as we get closer to this thing, we're going to be making announcements typically on our Facebook pages. Sorry, I swallowed water wrong, I guess. Freaking crazy. Getting old, man, getting old. But yeah, so we'll be posting updates. We'll definitely talk about updates on our podcast. I'm hoping to be on other people's podcasts to talk about this online digital event and just make sure that we can, again, satisfy people's curiosity about, what happens at these type of things, and especially on the, I don't want to say the state side, but especially the side over here in the US to where, I think things are a little bit probably the same as far as the presenters and teachers, but from what I've never been to an overseas event, and I'm not slamming any of them at all. It's just, we think that over here, it's all more about the networking directly. And, I'm hoping the digital event, that's my big thing, is I want the digital event to be a networking icon also, so to speak. So we're really super excited about it. contact us if you got any super questions at all, anything at all, anybody who wants to do this or be with us or sponsor or do whatever. But this thing's going to be pretty damn cool. So I encourage you guys to reach out if you have any questions. Reach out if you have any challenges. I don't know what kind of challenges we could have in the digital world, but reach out. We're here to help you guys. So, any other questions or statements? Or
I put a link in the menu on the regular site. If anyone goes to SEOspringtraining.com, like obviously our like promo video, I did pop up a couple of pictures from the event. I'm still sorting through a lot of stuff. But if you guys wanted to see some recaps, but the link is also underneath the 2026 tickets if you guys are interested in the online event. So if you don't, you can't copy and paste that link from right there. So SEOspringtraining.com and you'll find the online event. I do have a little landing page there with the details, stuff like that. The forum is live if you guys want to sign up. Yeah.
Awesome. So
I'll put together some FAQs too, because I'm sure that the people are going to have some questions about logistics, what's going on. And as we get closer to the event, we'll have a little more information. But at least for now, you guys will have an idea.
Definitely. And also, just a last statement that I'll make is don't let like this digital event deter you from going to a live event. Live events are awesome. Masterminders is this week. It's a super awesome event overseas. And there's great events out there live. And if you can ever get to a live event, I think the live events are so important, especially for the face-to-face. We can meet each other online and everything else, but you really start finding opportunities and you gain a little bit more trust, as you spend time with live people. So, or in real life, so to speak. So, again, I just wanted to say that as a last statement is just don't let this deter you from going to live events. If you can go to a live event, go for it. And there's a lot of them out there, especially overseas. I know there's some in Vietnam, there's some in the Philippines. I mean, they're awesome. If you can get to them, go for it. So, but if you can't and you want to still come to this one, or if you love live events but you want to see this one, we encourage you guys to come and see what we're getting ready to do. It's going to be pretty awesome. Reach out if you have anything. We're going to cut this one a little short. Usually we're an hour, but this one we wanted to be specific about this event, just to make sure that people will know that it's out there and that, it's an exciting thing that's getting ready to happen. So
we'll also talk a little bit. I know you've got some things that are brewing in the background about SEO University.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to talk about that right now, or?
I mean, as we get closer, the end of August is also my goal to have SEO University finished. So SEO University, I've been teaching classes, online classes and schema classes, and I do have a schema course. But the whole intention of the university was to make it be a one-stop teaching place. So what I've done is I basically put everything in my little brain and everything in Solterra's SOP, and I built the entire university. So from start, all the way from keyword and intent research, all the way to reading server logs and really technical stuff. So, and there's other people out there that will also want to be involved in it. I know Marty Marion wants to have a class up there. So there's all kinds of things that's going to be building with the university, but it was always designed to be a place you could go to and learn just about anything you need to know about, and not just SEO anymore, because it's not SEO, but now we're getting into just digital marketing. It's all about digital marketing now. And that includes SEO, AIO, AI optimization. All kinds of people are coming up with all kinds of acronyms for that. But, it's all now one big package. So, and it's just seemed to be the right time. I started this about 4 months ago, getting this thing all built out. I've just got some videos left to do. And then, I've got a group of people that are going to go in and, test it, so to speak, just to make sure it flows good and everything. But anyways, yeah, so I'm looking at announcing that fully at the digital marketing event. So that's my goal. And, it's it's pushing me to do this because it's been something that's been on my mind. I've had this thing for 5 years. So it's something that I'm really excited to finally get done and be able to do more than just, teach a class here and there. So.
Right. But you're still running your schema.
Yeah, I still have the schema course up there. A lot of people have purchased the schema course. And then, the people that have purchased it, also we're going to get a deal into the entire university. So, but yeah, I mean, it's up there. Mark's here. Mark just went through the course, I think a week or so ago. But yep, it's there and it's pretty awesome. So.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. But you guys, if you ever see me talk about schema, it's like, my eyes light up. So it's like I get excited. I just did some schema for a lawyer over the weekend and I still do it. I still love it. I still like testing it. What else can I make it do? And what else can I get away with? And then once I figure it out and once I find it works, then I put it in the class. But
love that.
All right, cool.
All right.
So, excellent. Well, if anybody has any questions, again, reach out, please. Follow us if you want to keep track of everything we're doing. There's all kinds of Facebook stuff out there with us. I actually forgot to put this in LinkedIn. That's my bad. I need to get better at LinkedIn. But reach out to us. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, anything, and we will be in touch with everybody. We have a massive email list, so we're going to be starting to use that as a precursor to just really launching this thing. So thank you everybody for your time on this Monday. Everybody have an awesome week. Elizabeth and I are headed to San Diego tomorrow to go to an event by Chris Martinez. Super excited.
A live event. Gotta love it, right?
Yep, gotta love it. Yep. Get out of the heat. Get out of here. Go to San Diego. It's my big thing. But thank you again for everybody for spending some time with us. We are going to try to get this thing back on track. We're actually kind of talking about changing days because Monday mornings kind of really suck for everybody, so to speak. But we'll let everybody know that. So, but anyways, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and reach out if you need anything at all. Thanks.